consent, and it's going to start recording here. And what's cool about the recording is after we finish the meet, it actually sends it to you in your email, and it has already created a folder in your Google Drive that you can access. So that's pretty cool that it sends it to you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to talk to you about the interface of Google Meet. This presentation that I have here is going to be on our SMUSD website. I have a spot for it right here. And then I'm also going to put it into the chat at the end so that you can access it, okay? So we're going to just talk about the interface of this. So I made this little thing for you so you can see the different parts of the Google Meet. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on over here and just go over those things. So right down here, it's the meeting details. If you click right there, that is how you can share this information. You can grab this. If you need to add more people, you can do that. So rarely use that part. This right here is how you muted yourself, and you're gonna wanna teach your students to do that. I've even had some teachers who do like a quick, okay, practice, mute yourself, unmute yourself, and I'm talking usually for younger students, because what happens is if you have your mouse up here and this goes away, you have to kind of hover over it and then it'll be right there. So that's how to mute. This is how to leave the call. And then this is how to turn your camera off, okay? Going over here, this is the captions. If you turn this on, and you can play with this right now, you're not gonna mess me up. If you click on this, it's gonna turn on the captions. But it's only for your own computer. So if I turned this on, it wouldn't turn captions on for all of you. And then over here, this is the presenting. Everyone go ahead and if you hover over this, or if you click this, please don't carry through with it and say present, but if you click on this, it should give you 3 options. It's not gonna give it to me now because I'm presenting, but your options should be entire screen, Windows, and something new today that came out is Chrome tab. Can I get a thumbs up if you see those 3 different things? Awesome. Okay, so what I did to present is I presented right away your entire screen. And that's what you're going to use. And you notice that I did that right away. There's lots of different ways of using Google Meet, but I feel that it's really helpful, especially for, let's just say, elementary age. If you present right away and you're taking control of what everyone is looking at. So right now, you all can see each other in grid view. If I want to start presenting or going to over here, I have you with me. So that's why I presented right away. If you want to turn that off, say a student wants to share something, then you would click on this, say stop presenting, and then they could present their screen. So any of you could actually take over and just know this, that your students can take over your screen if they present. But I also know that we're not just talking about teachers here. Staff, if you're having meetings through this and you guys want to share your screen, that's how you do that, okay? And then the bottom one just happened today. We've been waiting for this. This means that when you want to show a video, like I have a video queued up that I'll show you, the participants will be able to hear the audio. It was a problem that we wouldn't be able to hear. And so it's a new part of Google Meet. Now this is only using our teacher laptops and maybe some others. I'm actually on my own personal computer at home, and so it didn't have an issue with audio. So when I present and I show you a video, I don't need to switch over to that. So that's something that you can play with. Say you wanted to show a YouTube to launch the lesson that you're doing, you would want to choose that 3rd option of presenting the audio. It's called Chrome tab, okay? And then going over here, these 3 dots right here, this is how I recorded, and then we can say stop recording when we're ready. And then this right here is change layout. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get off grid view. And again, I'll tell you about grid view in a moment. I'm gonna get off grid view. Okay, so now I'm going to go down here and then change the layout. So these are the options. This is auto. Right now it's on sidebar. If I go back over there, change layout, this right here is tiled. So the tiled, oh, how come that's not working here? Change layout. Huh, I think maybe because I have the grid view. But this is only, it was either 12 or 16 people in that grid view. That's why I like this grid view right here. So I'll show you how to use that. But those are how to change the layout. And what else here? Settings, if you need to change any audio or video there, that's there. And then going up to here, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the People tab, and I can see that there's 42 of you with me. Thank you. And then, so for these are the different things that you can do. If you click on, Constance, I'm gonna pick on you. If you click on the name here, you can pin them. So I'm going to pin Constance. Are you ready? I was just not showing her a video. Okay, she's in luck. But that's how you would pin it. So if, as a teacher, or if you're working with a group and you want to have that person in big screen, then you would pin them and then you would unpin them there. You can mute students or participants, but you cannot unmute. So all of you, I asked you to mute yourselves, but so now I can't unmute you. You would have to do that on your own. And this right here will kick that person out of the meet. So be careful with that. If you're missing a team member or someone isn't here, and you can quickly click on Add People, and you can start typing in their email, and then they'll get an email invite, and then they can send, or they can get in right away. And then this is the chat right here. So I'm gonna pause there. If you have any questions, you can put that in the chat. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have anything so far on the interface. And I'll wait just a sec to make sure. If no one unmutes, I know everyone's good. We're good. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back over to, Cheryl, that's a really good question. Can co-teachers mute? And notice, everybody, that the chat comes up so you guys can see it. So you can click it here. So Cheryl, we had the ability to, before the update, that you would be able to mute and unmute, but also students.
Oh, I don't want to put up the stuff. Damn it.
Everybody could mute and unmute people, and then so now we can't. So unfortunately, that is gone so far. Things are always changing with Google Meet every day, but for now you cannot mute students. And then how do you invite entire class? Laura, I'm going to show you that next up. So good segue. I'm going to show you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go over here. Everyone make sure that they're muted. And I'm gonna go here and show you that you can.
Is it brown? It's brown.
Well, you should be able to. There we go. Okay. It's okay. Okay. That's going to happen, everybody. It's real life. Okay, so going back over here, these are the two different extensions I was talking to you about. So this is called the Google Meet Grid View. And it's an extension. If you click on this here, it takes you to the Chrome Web Store. And it goes straight to the grid extension, because we've put that there. It should say add to Chrome. Mine's already there, so it says remove from Chrome, okay? So you're gonna add that if you wanna add that extension. And again, what that did was that it gives you the ability to see all of you here in one grid, okay? And then when you hover over it, you can do other things as well, okay? I'll say that with a note that these extensions, sometimes they cause problems. We've had to uninstall them and everything. For now, it's really beneficial for teachers to be using this so that they can see everybody, but just know that this is an extension outside of Google Meet. So it might be wonky sometimes, so just know you may need to turn that off. And we're actually recommending you don't necessarily, maybe upper grades, you would have your students have grid view, but like I said, right now none of you have grid view, and I'm presenting the screen. You can all see it. So just the less extensions with you know, all that out there is better. So so that's the grid view. So again, once you click on that and say add to Chrome, the next time you come in, or if you refresh now, just know you'll get out of the meeting, you'll have to come back in. You'll now see it next to the people tab, okay? The other extension that we have on here, or that teachers have been using, it's called Google Meet Nod. And basically what that is you have this up here now where students can raise their hands, like I just did, and you see it down there. They can give emoji reactions and everything like that. That's a whole classroom management thing that you may want to consider if you want that. You know, students can definitely get crazy with that. But if you're a staff having meetings with each other, it's actually a pretty good way of you know, getting your, you know, you could either do question and answer in the comments, but that's one way. But just like I said, with these extensions, they may have issues. There's one day where we had to just have everyone remove it. So this is there just letting you know that that is an option. I actually prefer not to use it, but just know that that's there for you, okay? Let's see, so that is, I'm gonna now go to creating a Meet, the 2 different options for students, and then a staff option as well. But before I do that, I'm gonna check the chat. And then at this time, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and we can, so Laura, I'm gonna get to the invite entire class. I do not have the Chrome tab option on my personal computer. Is it Tiana?
Tiana.
Hi.
Hi.
So you don't have the Chrome tab option.
When I present, I only have the window and your whole screen.
Oh, okay. So that just came out today. So you may need to refresh. And most of the time, because I worked with all the grade levels at my school today, and there was some that it wasn't there, and they refreshed and it was there. So double check. That's what we say a lot is when in doubt, refresh. If it doesn't, let me know after this, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All of us.
Thank you.
And Nancy nods, yep, creates some issues. Absolutely. Just know these are extensions. These extensions are kind of rolling out fast because teachers are needing these, which is great. But you know, with all things, they may not be as helpful one day or the other. There's even an extension that I'm not even going to go over because it caused so many issues. There was a Google Meet attendance where like it would take attendance for you or whoever was on Google Meet, but it didn't give, it really was problematic. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you about the 2 different options to create and join. This is talking about students, and these are the options where there was some concern at the beginning or throughout that students were joining in before the teacher was there and everything like that. So this is the latest update, is using or creating a Google Meet through Google Classroom. And I'm gonna actually show you the tutorial on here through this because it is so much easier. There's 2 different screens and it explains it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that. I might skip through it. While I'm doing that, I'll be checking in the chat, and then if you have any questions, I can answer those. By the way, I do have 2 screens going on for management, because if you've noticed, I lose sight of you when I'm presenting. So when I go to this tab here, I can't see, you're seeing what I'm seeing. I can't see your faces right now. So that's been a concern of teachers because they want to see what what this class is doing. It's like you turning your back to the class in front of the class. So I do have I have another device here. If you have an iPad, you can get creative. Teachers are getting creative with that. So right now I can see down here, I can see what all of you while I'm presenting, okay? All right, so for you, if you are going to be presenting with audio, remember this was the new thing today that came out. Down here, when you present, you're not gonna, the three options again are present entire screen, I keep forgetting, the tab or window, and there's now a Chrome tab. When you click on the Chrome tab, that's gonna enable you to play audio so that the students can hear it as well. I'm actually not gonna do that because I'm on my personal computer and I didn't have any issue with that. And I don't want to stop presenting and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to this video. Again, this is the first option, or the latest option is the Google Classroom integration. This is how you can invite your entire class and how they can join. So I'm going to go ahead and press play here.
Creating a Meet with your students and having students join your Google Meet is through the Google Classroom integration. So here on this side, I am showing you the teacher side, and this is the student. Right now, you can see there's no Google Meet code here, and I'm going to show you how to set that Meet up. You're going to want to do this right before the Meet that you have scheduled with your students.
All right, and just modeling what I would do with my class. Make sure that you're with me. I want to make sure the sound is good and everything. Can I get a thumbs up if the sound is okay? You can hear me? Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go back there.
You are going to go up to the settings and you are going to go scroll down here. And right here, it says Meet. It's going to give you a code here and you're going to click on Visible to Students. You're going to go ahead and click on that link. And actually what you're doing is, consider this, when you toggle this, you're opening up your classroom door. So this code is going to be available for them so they can join the Meet. Okay, so now I'm gonna click on Save, and you're gonna notice that the Meet code is going to be generated here on the student and the teacher side. It's also going to show up in classwork. So right now mine's immediate right here. And as a teacher, you're going to want to go straight in and join the Meet because that code is active. And in just a moment, it will pop up over here. There it is. Okay, so the student can join the Meet. So you're going to do the Meet with your class. And then when every student has left the Meet, you're going to close out the Meet. We suggest, or it's been suggested, to wait 2 minutes. Make sure everyone has left the Meet. Then you're going to go into your classroom and you are going to go to that setting and you are going to close the classroom door. That means we're going to toggle this Visible to Students, and now save it, and now it's going to be gone, and it will be gone from the students. Next time it's time to meet with those students, you're going to open up your classroom door by going up to the settings. And this right here, this one, you're going to reset it. So it's not even the same code as last time. The students won't even need to know. They're just going to click on whatever's there. So we're going to reset it. It's reset the code. We're going to click here, click on Save. And then the students will join the Meet that has been generated there.
All right, so any questions with that? That is the latest way of doing that. The whole resetting the link is because there were teachers that were concerned that they were in the Meet before they were actually in there. So that is the latest that they're saying is the best way to do it. And if you aren't concerned with that, you do not need to reset the link every time. It can just live there. So every time it's time for them to go into the Meet, They go in and they scroll up. It's really up to you. This is just an option for you for that, okay? So any questions on the Google Meet through Google Classroom? And then I'll go over the next way, the meeting code. And FYI, this right here is a tutorial that we made, so you can send it to students so it tells them how they access the Google Meet through Google Classroom. Also explaining to them that it's not going to be there. If it's not there, then it's not time for their meet, okay? All right, let me check in with the chat here. Okay, and yes, I said I would share. This is something interesting that I just realized that if at the very beginning up here, I put the link here. But if you joined after I put that, then you won't see that. So whenever you join, you're going to see the chat. But that's why I'll add this at the end, okay? Let's see what else here. Okay, Nancy, yes, we're going to talk about the nickname. If you're sharing video with audio, can you still talk also? Or does the mic only pick up one thing? Michelle, that just came out today. I am pretty positive you can do both. We'll have to test that out, or I can after I do this for sure. But that's the idea, is that you're able to do both, okay? All right. Okay, you guys are hanging in there with me. Thank you. So let's go to the Google Meet with meeting codes. This is another option. This was option before Google Classroom. And the reason why teachers are still wanting to do this is maybe they have a small group that they want to meet with, and they don't want the class to have the code, up at the top. They want to have separate ones. So maybe they have 5 different reading groups or 5 different small groups or literature circles. You can create a meet with a special nickname. So this is going to be a tutorial that's going to go step by step. And then this is going to be something that you can send out to students. I'll go ahead and go over it just briefly, but just know you can go back and you can watch these videos, okay? So here in any of your Google apps, the waffle right here, so it's right here, also in your email, if you click down here and you scroll down, and there's this meet right here. Okay, you can create a meeting. Okay, so what you're going to do is, let's just say you want history, second period. Every time you meet, you want this to be their nickname. So what's important is you don't want to just say second period. If you do second period, then someone at another school might have that nickname, and you're essentially joining the same meeting. So you need to think of, like, maybe do Dixon, DPS, history second. Okay, so that's the nickname you create, okay? So you're going to create that, or that's going to be your nickname, and you can click on continue. And now this is going to bring me up to another meet here. So at the screen, I want to explain to you that once you did that, you've opened up your classroom door. Okay, even if you didn't click on join now, students would be able to access that. So once you do that, you want to click on join now right away, and then you'll be in there, okay? Students would, and I don't want to do 2 Google Meets in one, so I'm going to stop that. Students would go into their Google Apps, or actually in the cloud now, and this icon is there, Google Meet. And then they would, this looks a little bit different as a student, because they are not allowed to start a meeting, they're only joining. They would put in that nickname, and if for some reason it's 5 minutes before you are in as a teacher, it's going to give them an error. It's not going to let them go in. So that's why we suggest that teachers go in a couple minutes before you're supposed to meet, or you're going to get some students saying it's not working, and you're going to emails and everything like that. So once you start it, the students can join it. And let me go back over here. This right here goes over making sure that you end the meeting, and in both of these scenarios, you want students to leave your classroom. You want them to click on that, the phone to get off, and get out of the class, the meet. And then you're gonna wait, suggested like 2 minutes, just make sure no one else joins in, and then you close the Meet. And that's essentially closing the classroom door, okay? So those are the 2 different ways for students, okay? And I'll go over the Google Calendar for now, okay? So I'll stop now, check the chat. Please unmute yourself if you have any questions about Google Classroom integration and the nickname, okay? Or if you have anything to share as well.
Christine, I really do appreciate the nickname a little more than going into manually, because a lot of times you get caught up in the moment of staying with students and people forget to go back and close from the Google Classroom. So I'm just giving my feedback on that. If you're consistent, they memorize it, and it only opens and closes when I open and close it. So
exactly. Nancy, what do you teach again?
Spanish 8th grade.
Spanish 8th grade, yeah. So this is going to be, you have to kind of look at it as if because there were a couple times where teachers said that their students were inside before they were. There's different ways to look at it. It's like they're waiting outside your classroom, you know, before you open up the door. You know, it's all depends on you and your students, and you know, it's all this whole digital citizenship that we have to teach them. So yeah, there's no right or wrong way. Those are the 2 ways, and there's different reasons why teachers would be using them. So yeah, thank you, Nancy. Let's see, attendance extension. Laura is asking about the attendance extension. We've heard it's really problematic, so let's just take that one out, unless you want to try and let us know how it's going. But I've had teachers who will take pictures or screenshots of like they would go like this, and they would, you know, take a screenshot or a video. That's not really, I mean, sure there's a better way, but that's what they've been doing. So if there's any other teachers that have attendance, Nancy, do you have something?
Yeah, I've had success with it, but initially it was me trying to figure it out, and just hovering over the people when the numbers change and not understanding what the next little, it looks like a clipboard is all about. It shows that it's dropping it. But yo, también espera un momento, porfa. The one thing I have noticed is that I'll just ask a really simple question for them to answer in the chat, and then I copy and paste that into a doc just in case.
Yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah. You could also do a Google, put in chat, like put a Google form attendance. Just make an easy, you know, attendance form, requiring them to have the email, you know, how you can have on a Google form their email. I mean, I'm just making this up as I go, but I think that would be good. And just remember that if they're not in this, they're not going to get that link. So remember, if they're not in this chat, this link goes away. And so say I put this in, and Nancy, you came in after I put that in, it's going to be gone, right? So if they're late to class, they're not going to be able to access that link unless they share it with their friend. But okay, so let's go ahead and go. So I know that we have some staff here where you are going to be using Google Meet for meetings and everything. So I wanted to show you this 3rd option. This is staff only because when you create this link, it is live and students can access it all the time. So this is a video that I made here, but I'll just show you very quickly. If you go into your calendar and you just create a meet, so say I'm going to meet with my 3rd grade team. You're going to go to more options and do everything you usually do in a calendar. Invite the guests, put a description, everything you usually do. But this part right here, that's been there, but it's kind of been, we've ignored it, most of us. If you click right here and you click on Google Meet, it automatically makes a meeting for you. You click on save. And then when it's time, those participants, all they have to do is click on this and they're right into the meeting. So that's what we're doing with our grade levels and like admin meeting. I just click on this at the time, I go here, and then I'm in. If you don't want to put in every single student or teacher's names, you can just go like here and you can copy that link there and send it through email or wherever else, however else you want to send it. post it. So that's the third way of creating. Actually, there's a fourth way as of today. This right here is right here, start a meeting, join a meeting. That came up today. So just one more thing that it keeps changing every day, so you can try that out. Okay, let's go ahead and we invite more people to an already established meeting. Are the folks who have already been invited get notified again? Patricia, wanted to invite more people to an already. The folks who have already been invited. Oh, are you talking about, Patricia, are you talking about the calendar invite?
Yes, I was having a parent meeting last week and people kept jumping in wanting to find out about it. So I'd shared the Google invite again. And every time I shared it, I felt like, oh my goodness, are the people that have already been invited still getting this new information all the time? I
actually, like the end of last week when I was doing that, I was wondering the same thing. We could play around with that, but I actually, we would have to test that out.
I know what you can do.
Does it come out?
I'll reply to that.
Yeah. Yay.
So if you're doing this, Patricia, through your Google Calendar, you go to your invitees, and every time you add a new person's email, it will ask you to send it just to that person. So anyone who's new will receive it only. If you go through the Google Calendar invitee list.
Okay.
Okay, here, let's go.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'll get back into my calendar here. Okay, so here, and then here, oh, actually, I don't have any guests here, but you would go through here. Yeah, I think that would work. All right, so, okay. So those are the 3 different ways. And then the rest of this is just some information for you. Recording the meet, we had some worry about, you know, are we okay to record? Are we not? And so this is what came out is, as long as you are, the meet recording is accessed by students behind a password protected application, which Google Classroom would be one. You should not be recording meets that are specifically for special education students. And we are informing students to turn off their camera if their media release form says no. So you can arrange that before. So you would just talk to that student and just say, you know, please make sure your camera is off. So just some classroom management tips. This was, since you can't see the students when you're presenting, like right now I can't see your faces. We've come up with some strategies like, you know, choose a student to be the moderator, you know, like make that a classroom job or, you know, a role. So that's helpful. Do what I have been doing is stop, you know, check in, give a signal. And then there's some other things on here. This right here kind of goes over like a general, like starting the meet. Come in a couple minutes before, you can start recording, do a roll call, have them all mute. So just like some strategies. This was that we did at the very beginning, but it's changing every day. This is something we put out right at the beginning, because we need to teach our students how to interact through here, which most of them have had some time doing that and getting better and better. And then just some signals to help you with that. So that's basically all I have. I'm here for questions and comments, and even after this meet, just know I'm here for you if you have any questions. So yeah, I'll open it up to the rest of you if you have anything.
How do you enlarge your screen when you were presenting for us to view?
Sorry, Nancy, I promised you. Okay, so how do you enlarge the screen? So right now I am on grid view, okay? So if I want to get off grid view here, okay? All right. And then when I go here to enlarge my screen, I can present like normal, right? Okay, so I'm looking down here. Okay, so that's as big as it can be, right? So if it's not a slide, then you would, let's see, oops. Yeah, that's that big. So Nancy, I think it might be because you have the grid view on. Is that what it is?
I'll play with it. I just saw one of you professionals were helping us out. They were like zooming in on what you were presenting to us. So.
Sorry, Nancy, I've pinned you. But that's what you would do is you would want to like, Nancy, do you have something to share? And so just a reminder how to do that. You just unpin her right here.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's the best way to do it. And I also have a bigger screen. So, and then to be able to look at my other screen is helpful. So, but that's as big as it can get, I guess. Okay. What else? Anything else? Let's look at my chat. Okay, Laura, can they see chat stream to read the questions out loud? Yeah, Laura, what you see is everyone can see this. So that's why you want to use the moderator, because when you're here and you're presenting, right? You're the teacher, you're presenting, and the chat's gone, right? But the students still can see the chat on their devices, right? So you need to have someone moderate that and go back and forth with that, okay? Oh, Nancy, stop. Thank you, Nancy. All right, anyone else have anything? Good. Do we have any non-teachers that are here that you just wanted to see how Google Meet works? Raise your hands. Are we all teachers? You're hiding down there, yeah. Hi. Awesome. Well, we are going to be using this for meetings all the time. So practice, get a small group of, if you haven't done this yet, just get a small group of, staff to play around with it. But it definitely gets easier, and every day it's getting better. So, and then what you're going to do last is make sure everyone leaves. So I'm not going to leave until everyone leaves. So you're going to go like this and leave call. And just reminder that the recording is going to record the whole thing. And once I get out, like I said, it's going to send me an email, and it's going to have the recording there. So then you can share it after that, okay? All right, let me know if you need anything. Thank you, everyone. I'll let everyone.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you.
That was fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Yes, congratulations. You deserve it. You do such a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Christine, this is Lynn Jones. I'm an instructional aide.
Hi.
Hello. So I know you answered the question before that if we're not the teacher, we don't have the ability to unmute students.
Right.
And some teachers are using me as their moderator. So when they're presenting, I'm the one that's watching the kids on grid view and, alerting them if someone has a question or has their hand up. So is there any way that you can have two moderators when you create one of these, or just no?
There's not, and we do definitely see the need, and we can put that. There's Google's listening to us, like they are making improvements all the time. So if we put that feature, hopefully they can answer that. But I do see the need. We've had that at my school a lot, where if a student is disrupting, or if it's a younger student and the parent is out of the room and not paying attention and they haven't muted themselves. But unfortunately, right now it's not. But we do see the huge need for sure.
Okay. And our situation is it's one particular class where we have all SAI students,
right?
And they're jumping up and down while the teacher's presenting, and it's really distracting. So I don't know if the other students have grid view or not, but if they do, they can see everything.
Right. Well, that would be another example of why you want to present from the beginning. So the teacher is controlling what everyone can see.
Okay.
I'm kind of talking more elementary. Like I would present the entire time. I mean, there's no reason why students they're going to get more distracted by pinning their friends and seeing, clicking on everyone and not paying attention. My own opinion is you should present the entire time. That's my opinion. So that might be a way to help.
How do you avoid?
Thank you.
Sorry. How do you avoid students pinning themselves or pinning others?
Like when you present right away, you're presenting and you're controlling their screen. They could still pin, but you're presenting your screen, so it's the bigger thing, right?
Okay, so that when we present, then their pin goes away. What students are able to see is my presentation, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think if I'm presenting, it's the big thing. Let's see, I'm going to try it right now. No, take that back. You can. It actually does go away. But this is just one of those classroom management things you just have to teach them. They still have the ability to override your presentation by clicking on present their screen, right? So these are the things you have to teach them. Do not touch that, do not, if we say mute, everyone needs to mute yourself. If we say to unmute, you need to, so it's all those strategies you need to teach them. But yeah.
Sometimes I'm just, I'm not presenting. I'm just talking to the class, and then suddenly I see the big screen with somebody big. I can see they pin themselves, I guess, right?
No, it actually when you pin, it's relative to your own screen. So they're not pinning themselves and making everyone see them. Most likely they're making it's on the layout is the auto, where if you're talking, then it makes you bigger. So again, that is how you take over, is you present right away, and that's not going to happen because you're presenting your screen. So try that out next time you're on it.
Okay.
See how that goes. I was with my daughter's in kindergarten, so I saw her teacher do this, and that was a suggestion, because it was, you can imagine kinder and all over the place, and they're big and small and everything. And I just said, start presenting at the beginning, even before the kids join. Present your screen so you have a lot more control. So try that out next time you meet with your students, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Hi there.